And welcome to the Model Y live event here at the Tesla Life, our 90th show, just after doing a show yesterday. To the Model Y live event. Here we go at the Tesla Life. Our
got a loop back.
Where is that echo coming from?
We've got someone playing the podcast on their mobile device or something.
Oh.
Anyway, I think we got that short up.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. We've got a lot of excited Tesla fans with us tonight. And we're from the 6 corners of the earth. So let's start with the introductions.
Yes.
Come on.
We've got Russell Frost in Southern California with a wardrobe dysfunction going on.
That's it. I may not be in Florida, but hey, everybody, welcome to the Model Y debut. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Finally. Yes, indeed.
Thanks for being here. Tell a friend.
And panelist that hasn't been around lately that much. In Portland, Oregon, we've got Mr. Patrick Connor with us.
Hello. Happy Pi Day and Happy Y Day. They are on the same day. And I am bilingual today.
He's bilingual.
Wow.
The man with the T-shirts. Yes, indeed. Also, Mr. Evan Fusco, who happens to be in the southwest corner of the area of the country tonight.
Yeah, I'm down in Orlando with the family, doing a little Mickey Mouse visiting, and thought I'd log on at the wee hours of the evening here. But hey, it'll be fun.
Absolutely.
From the House of Mouse to the House of Musk.
There we go. Patrick's been saving them up.
Yeah.
Patrick, you hired good writers while you were gone, didn't you?
Scratch that one off the list.
Yeah. Damn.
Next, we've got Mr. Casey Green in South Carolina.
Hello. Straight from the Tesla mobile repair to to a owners club event to here with you guys.
Yeah, very good, very good. How was the owners event? Was it well visited? Many people there.
I was late. It had a good turnout, and it was good to see old faces and new faces, and we had a blast.
Excellent.
Hopefully, some of them are in here. I send out tweets and Facebooks, as you all should do. Share it with your friends.
Absolutely.
And of course, last but not least, Mr. Tony Schaefer in Chicago, Illinois, or the greater Chicago, Illinois area.
Yeah, Casey says share it with their friends. Yeah, you can drop the S. I shared it with my friend. And not even really the friend. It was the guy that washes my windshield when I stop at that one stoplight at the intersection. So,
man.
Yeah.
Does he have a computer? Well, he's got a phone. He'll be fine.
Right.
This show is really going dark.
This is ugly quick.
I did bring a beer, so I can't possibly do this without cracking a cold one. So
maybe I should go get a beer for this.
I think you should.
I think you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. All right.
He's got the finger up.
I'm not going to wait for you, Russell.
He's giving us the finger.
I normally save the drinking for the What Drives Us show, but I figure this is worth it. But this is a great time to mention to people that the Tesla Life that you're watching has more or less a sister show or a brother show if you swing that way. And you can find it at youtube.com/whatdrivesus. We do shows every Wednesday night, just like the Tesla Life, and you should subscribe to both shows if you haven't already. And make sure that you give this presentation a thumbs up, as well as subscribing to the Tesla Life.
Yes, indeed. That helps us out and gets us in the eyeballs of new people. So please give us a thumbs up and a follow. That would be great. Oh, Russell's back.
With a Murphy's. Nice.
new
St.
people.
Patty's Day.
I want to give a shout out to Casey here. So you came on right as I left, and I just wanted to say good job, brother, because someone's got to keep Russell in line, and you've been doing an awesome job.
Patrick, I'm glad you pointed that out. We need to talk.
Yeah, that's fine. Casey's a great replacement for me. I'm cool with that. The show has upgraded, and I'm a happy fan.
So for those of you that are not in the know, we're waiting, of course, for the top of the hour when the broadcast is supposed to be delayed. And we will be doing a soft shoe up until that point, talking about everything and anything that comes to mind.
Well, I will say this. They've gone a step further, and rather than just showing us an empty stage for 15 minutes before he's late, we have a countdown timer. So maybe you'll have pressure to be there on time.
I don't have a countdown timer.
You don't?
No. Did you sign up?
I signed up, and they gave me a link. You want it?
Yeah.
I hate that. Okay, fine.
It's in the.
Send them a link.
Yeah,
because,
send me the link that you're using. Thank you.
You never know.
Yeah.
So do we want to start any guesses, before we get going? I mean,
what's the over under that it does start on time?
Yeah, we should do a start time pool first.
I'm going at least.
And if you're in the chat room, feel free to throw your guess in there too.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the chat room that it is 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to take a 5-minute swing. So Tony has $20 on 10 to 15 minutes late.
I say in a perfect world, they'll be within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Can someone post the?
Up to 8.
Right. I'll take 5 to 10 then.
Someone post a link in the chat room here. Now Mark is asking for it, but Mark, I want to make sure you understand that if you're following the show on your own computer, not only might that chew up a lot of bandwidth, but you might have a lag between us and them, and just so you're aware. So everyone's aware if you're watching both.
I guess all they'd say is that I shared my link.
Here's how this is going to work. We're going to show the video. You will see the video, and we may cut away from it when there's nothing going on, but you'll see the video. And when there's something important audio-wise going, you will hear the audio. You may hear us talk over that a little bit, but for the most part, we're just here to kind of support the actual event. Now, until it starts, you got to put up with our bullshit. I mean, our
yeah, call it what it
Our
is.
incisive, study based on years of knowledge.
Exactly. This ain't our first rodeo, kids. Okay, we've done this before. Does anybody know if Elon broke up with his girlfriend today?
Oh, if he's going to be in a bad mood, is that?
It didn't appear so, but I bet you he was wearing his one of his patent jackets.
Oh, of course.
Even if it's hot as hell over there.
Jackets? I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. There's always some article talking about what it is he wore when he does one of these things. Is it going to be the green one with pockets? Is it going to be the Bomber G1? I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, my God. No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the guy's the kind of person that he tweets and it makes news. So I guess what he wears also makes news.
Who are you wearing today?
So should we talk about like what the Model Y is, just in case there's somebody here that
go ahead,
might not
set the baseline for us.
So the Model Y is essentially the Model 3 or the smaller version. That's going to be a small size SUV. So that what the Model X is to the Model S, the Model Y will be to the Model 3. And early statements from Tesla have been that it's going to be priced at something like 10% higher than a Model 3 will be. And beyond that, we don't know a whole lot. We know it's not going to have Falcon Wing doors.
That we know for sure.
Well, yeah, but
I'm betting
it's not going to have Falcon.
So Elon said it won't. So that we know for sure.
So that means,
and he'd be an idiot to do it again. So
yeah. So
I think he's going to do coach doors, the suicide doors.
I'm going to throw the
minivan sliding doors.
Minivan.
He said he doesn't like those because the aerodynamics.
Yes, indeed. The one picture that we have here, it doesn't really do a great job of giving scale, but this is the only teaser picture that we have of the Model Y right now.
Well, that in the front-facing silhouette.
Yeah, well, I know, but that's really. But I'm going for overall shape,
Right.
and unfortunately, there's no one standing next to it. There really is no sense of scale. But
you can tell with that back end there that it's definitely going to be a hatch.
It is built on the Model 3 platform, right? So we're having basically the same chassis as the Model 3.
Yeah,
I think Tesla has announced that it will have about 70% of the same parts.
Yeah, that's
as the Model 3.
The Model X is also based on the Model S, and it only shares 30% of its parts.
Right. It was very much a redesign.
Tesla actually learned something.
Right. And you know what? I was reading about the Model Y coming out, and if you remember 2 years ago, Elon said the Model Y, we're going to completely redesign it and start from scratch, and it's going to be a whole new, everything. And it wasn't long after that apparently someone convinced him that was a really bad idea.
They reeled him in.
And so now they're saying 70% shared parts with the Model 3.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I like his quote there where he said, "They pulled me back from the cliffs of insanity."
Yeah, exactly.
So and speaking of cliffs of insanity, we're just joined by Mr. Paul Guzik in Boulder, Colorado.
Yes, sorry I'm late. I just got home from work and I'm in my extra home office here.
No problem, Paul. Glad to have you aboard.
Paul, did you have to take a snow machine home?
There was nothing. It was the storm that didn't arrive.
Oh, really? So you guys
my brother doesn't have power right now.
Ooh.
I like
it. Hit somewhere besides where Paul lives.
Boulder was spared.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think he's in the Springs, if I understand correctly.
So now we're up to the 7 corners of the earth.
And the cliffs of insanity.
Yes.
you guys have any thoughts on whether the Y will be available as a rear-wheel drive only? Or are they going to make it all-wheel drive?
It's probably all-wheel drive. I mean, look at the Model S, the Model X. I think that they're going to stay close to the base model, but I don't think they're going to make a base model equivalent on this to the Model 3.
It's going to be tough to come in at 40 if they don't, though.
Exactly. I was wondering about that too. They said 10% more, but then if they don't offer the minimum package, if they don't offer rear wheel only, if they don't offer the smallest battery size, then you're starting at 10% at a higher level.
Yes, I think the closest that we'll see is the standard plus equivalent, but I really think it would be the long range rear wheel drive or the dual motor is where we'll see the base on this thing. If you look at other manufacturers and their CUVs.
In a lot of parts of the country, you don't need all-wheel drive. I mean, it's nice to have, but car would still be
but I agree with
drive.
you on the battery pack that the standard plus will be the minimum here because otherwise it might be less than 200 miles, and that's kind of a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Right.
And look at the way that the Model X and S came out when they were the only things. So you couldn't get rear-wheel drive ever on the Model X, and they were on again, off again with the Model S. And then when the Model 3 came out, they dropped.
The Model X did have rear wheel initially.
Initially, but nobody got it delivered that way. Same with the no air suspension. They didn't deliver any with no air suspension either.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're still looking at a different target audience here for the Y compared to the X, and so there may be a need to do that rear wheel only and
maybe
and such. So we'll see. It'll be.
They'll definitely start with the most expensive one.
48 seconds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 48 seconds for the under-over. We will see.
Yes.
And while you're waiting this last 40 seconds, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button if you haven't already, and join us on our show throughout the week every Wednesday. And also go to What Drives Us and sign up to that feed as well as our sister show, or as Tony says, brother show.
Yeah. A lot
of press the subscribe for Mr. Casey Green's YouTube channel as well. That can be found just searching Casey Green. And like them all. Help us out. Give us a like and get us in front of some new people.
All right, we're less than 10 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Blank screen.
Hold tight. The show's about to begin.
Hold tight.
Okay.
All right, now we'll see
Well,
how
we are
our
all-
Okay, now we're on the over. We're on the
All
over
right.
times.
So that means that Elon's plane is about to land.
Well, they got to drag him from the press room,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? Yeah.
holding court with all the people who ask a million questions when they're given one.
Wow. So Bruce Johnson in New Zealand is saying that he predicts it's going to start 17 hours and 10 minutes late.
Oh, I hope he's wrong.
I think that's
that might apply in New Zealand if you're going by 8 o'clock.
Oh, they're serving Elon's toast and jam.
yeah.
Just like
Why
in
is
tweet.
Danny Cooper in the chat room and not on the show?
Oh,
What?
Yeah,
I'm sure
Fix
it's
that.
too late for him. He hasn't, made himself up.
Danny needs to get another reservation that he can cancel.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, who's going to reserve one on the panel?
I'm all card out for a couple years.
Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to say that I probably will.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be another Tesla owner on the show.
Several years in the future, I'm willing to bet
Oh.
I will probably, and it might be in the used market, but yes,
So you're
Yeah,
going to put down a reservation for a used Model Y.
yeah.
I don't think that's how it works, Tony.
Who do you put that reservation in with?
You can put it down with me because I'm going to get one and we can have it 3 years from now.
All I have to do is wait, Yeah, no, and you guys know my situation. I have one car garage and I don't want to run a cord out. So having two plug-in cars is awkward. We're looking at a house. When we get a 2-car garage, one of them is going to be an EV and possibly one of them is going to be a Tesla. But until then, it's going to be a plug-in and a hybrid.
I've spent my money. I'm not buying another one for a while.
But if you
Yep.
do 2 plug-in hybrids, then you can rotate them.
There you go.
Right. Well, yeah, if they were, yeah, except I deplete my prime every day. So, I kind of like them.
Is yours the 22-mile prime or the 11-mile prime?
The 25.
All primes are 22.
Oh, the
Yeah.
other one's
Oh,
the,
yeah, 25.
plug-
but,
crazy plug-in.
mine is the 30 to 40.
Yeah, Tony's the hypermile king. So,
Yeah, so
he got the
Never
old
drives
one,
over
does
40
50
miles an
miles.
hour.
Yeah.
right. Hey, I have pictures. I have proof, man. I get 30 miles on a charge doing 55. I don't want to hear it.
I have an hypermile my Volt because I hated it when that generator kicked in.
Yep, that's right. That's right. The Volt was great for hypermiling in.
So I will be putting down a reservation, but I'm not going to do it for a couple days because I don't want to be too close to the beginning of the line. I want them to get like a year of production out, and then I'll get
Smart
one.
guy. Smart guy.
Yeah. So
You could just not give them the rest of the money. It has the same effect, but you get to whenever you're ready, it's ready.
Cooper is on fire in the chat room.
Yes, he is. And you know what? And David Watts has the awesome product placement. He says, Tony, perhaps Current Automotive will have a used Y sometime.
There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
Referencing previous shows. That's always.
Hey, by the way, we
appreciate
do have some new people watching. I just want to say that once again, do hit the subscribe button. We do a weekly show called The Tesla Life, and it is fantastic. You can be notified. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button and the little bell, and you'll be notified whenever we do it. Our weekly show.
and getting close to 1,000, so that would be cool if we push it over tonight. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
So, hey, I want to circle back to a comment Patrick made a second ago. So it's interesting that you want to wait a couple days because you want to kind of be like a year out on production. Do you think the demand's going to be that high on this Y? I haven't felt like there's been quite that much buzz on it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But then the CUV market is generally much bigger than the sedan market. So there could be, I have no idea.
Especially one that doesn't have a 5 mile per gallon real world got to go to the gas station penalty. I mean, we're talking 50 cents a week in power difference, maybe $5 if you drive like me.
So I don't know. I hope this one is a huge success, at least as big as the 3. But I don't know. I don't know if it doesn't seem to have the hype. There weren't people lined up at the stores. I think that Tesla's recent PR flubs have really kind of hurt.
That too.
Yeah.
They also probably didn't want us lining up at the stores, whichever ones were left.
Yeah.
I want to see the lineups at the stores that are closed. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
This line isn't moving.
But I think the RAV4 is now like Toyota's #1 selling vehicle.
Exactly.
And I think the RAV4 hybrid is outselling the Prius. So
yeah, so this has a chance to be huge.
Is one.
It might not have like the first 48 hours type of reservation queue that the Model 3 had, but I think long term it's going to be much more important to Tesla.
Right.
And I would say that's probably the case as well. Long term, it's probably going to be a big seller, particularly if it addresses a few of the deficiencies in the 3, that ability to put larger cargo in that back area. That's still definitely one of the major things for me is, there's a lot of space back there. It only holds certain size things. If your box is the wrong dimension, it's not going to go in there, period.
And if the 3 had been a hatchback, then I would suspect there'd be more crossover between the two vehicles.
Yeah, right.
But like you're saying, there's a limit to what you can do, and if you can only get one car for the family, and you need it to have the most utility, and you can't afford $88,000 for a Model X.
2 things. We're 5 minutes over, so mark your scorecards appropriately. What your times were. Secondly, we will cut live to the event as soon as it starts to broadcast. In the meantime, we'll just chatter along with whatever we've got here. But we are watching the feed, and you can actually see it in Russell's box right now. Once it starts up, we'll switch over to it.
Yeah.
But right now, we're all still waiting. Secondly, I had a question for the panel and for anyone in the chat room. What are the guesses? What guess would you have as to whether or not we will hear any type of an order number from the Model Y like we did on the Model 3? Will there be any type of information from Tesla saying that there's 100,000 ordered? What are your thoughts?
Well, it won't be right away because with the Model 3, it was after we'd waited in line for a day. And I think that he doesn't want the shorts to use it or the news to find a way to make it a negative thing. So I don't think that we'll.
So you're a no.
Oh, come on. He'll tweet it out as soon as he gets just some
I don't think it'll be part of the show.
System. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm with Casey. He's not. There will be no number mentioned tonight, or probably not at all on this, just because in the last few analyst calls, they've asked that question of how many are left on the reservation list, and he's talked about how that number will be misconstrued.
Not only misconstrued, it doesn't matter.
He said it would be irrelevant, which is interesting because it was a material fact to bolster the stock price a year before.
Well, that was before they were making them at any sort of.
I'm just saying.
Quantity and scale. That was his argument.
Right.
You're right, Patrick. Casey has definitely taken up the mantle.
Yep. I love it.
I was just talking about my Tesla mobile repair, which was great, by the way. Thank you. I got the alarm system installed, and then we rolled the window down. I walked away. He stuck his hand in the window. The car texted me, and it started beeping, and it worked.
Monsters attacking me.
Yeah. This dude is wearing a big T on his shirt and he's reaching in. You locked me.
Yeah, we got that software update too, and I haven't.
Oh no, this is hardware.
Oh, you got a hardware upgrade. Oh, you just got that the Sentry mode for our Model 3, and I haven't played with it yet. And dog mode.
I've got dog mode, but not Sentry mode, which is confusing. I thought they came out together.
Couldn't the dog guard the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't need them together.
I don't have a dog.
Right.
And they're not recommended to be together because if the alarm goes off and your dog is in there, that's not a good day for your dog.
It hurts his ears. But they in the later updates, they made it impossible to turn the two on together.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can't guard your dog in the car.
Because it would blow his ears out.
Yeah. Hopefully the cameras still activate, but just not the blasting music.
The last patch I saw a video of, it doesn't do that.
Oh, that stinks.
It does.
I want to agree with the denominator in the chat. If it's a big number of pre-orders, you can count on Elon talking about it.
Oh, of course.
Right.
If it's something he can brag about, he'll do it.
Yeah.
And the SEC right behind him.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He has to get approved by his nanny first.
He clearly doesn't care much about the SEC.
Well, because the SEC is broken, after all.
I don't know, Danny. I don't think he's going to do too many ums and ahs. He usually just stutters.
So he came out. Elon came out and said that it is going to cost 10% more because it's 10% more expensive to build, or 10% bigger. Which, okay, cubic footage inside the cabin or even exterior size is not necessarily how you judge the price of something. But all the same, if the Model 3 is 35, does that mean that this is going to be $3,500 more? Is that what he's saying? This is going to be under 40,000?
I don't.
Yeah, that's what we were debating earlier. Right? Will it be?
His sense of math is a little skewed as well.
That too.
Right. It might be 10% more, but they don't offer the standard range. They only offer standard plus.
Yeah. So maybe starting price is 50,000, then it's 10% on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All
but
right.
we don't know. Yeah.
I mean, right. So that's why I'm drumming up the conversation here. So what are the guesses? Are we going to say 5,500 to start?
I think the lowest we'll see it go is standard range plus equivalent,
which is
37,000. I think.
Yeah, exactly. 10% more than that.
Okay.
I think it would be
just over 40. But like Dr. Fusco was saying, we really need to have something that's $39.95 or something.
Yeah.
I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
Totally knock the RAV4.
I mean, nobody will buy it. I mean, because
you mean nobody will be able to buy it?
No, but that too.
Nobody will want it. They'll buy the plus models.
Right. It'll be 200-mile range, and it's going to be like rims
for just
made out of rubber.
I can step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, from a guy that had a 40-mile EV and I upgraded to an 80-mile EV, a 200-mile EV has a lot of capability.
I do have to say, there's this certain, and I get it, if you're a Tesla owner or a Tesla enthusiast, there's this certain snobbery about any EV that has less than 250 miles of range.
208.
See what I mean? I just there are wonderful EVs that have low range.
We're 11 after, so I lost on my 5 to 10 after.
Are you done?
Yeah, we're into Tony. Yep. So now I've lost 2.
What do you bet that they'll have a bunch of features that they wanted on the RAV4 EV that Toyota pish-poshed on?
Oh, speaking of features, do you guys think it'll have a tow package?
Yes.
Yes.
I really hope so, because I don't want to necessarily tow anything, but I want to be able to do one of the hitch-mounted bike racks. That is so much easier than putting a bike up on top of the car on the glass. Oh, we got something happening?
Exactly.
I just refreshed. Oh, the please wait went away.
Oh.
Yeah, my screen just updated.
Uh-oh, screen update.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're right. It's black.
I win. Woo! 10 to 15 right here.
It hasn't started yet. It just went to black. That doesn't count, Tony.
And I got 11 more minutes. This is going to just be black. Okay. Because we've been down this road before, where it's the screen changes, then it goes back for another 10 minutes of music. So
Right.
Yep.
Do you think they did this intentionally just to make everybody wait? Don't
Elon
do this.
is literally talking to the news media most of the time this happens.
Yeah, but the news media can wait till after.
Is that what
I
you
keep
keep
saying?
calling it these days?
Well, yeah, I think they give them a 1-hour embargo or whatever for the event, and this way they can all start frantically typing their stories while Elon's up on stage.
Yeah. So, what are the odds that we actually get a solid stream like the rocket launches, or do we have another hiccuping mess like we had the last time we had a live stream for Tesla?
Probably going to happen. Yeah, that'll happen.
We hope they fix that.
For a technology company, if they can't pull this off, it's so sad.
Right.
But sometimes they get it just right, and
back to the Boring Company debut.
Yeah, that one was ridiculously bad.
Oh, Eric in the chat room is the reason we're late. Elon needs to finish his blunt.
He says he doesn't like somewhere.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the one that's saying that.
So if you just joined us, we're still waiting for the live stream to start. We will switch over to it when it does indeed start. The over-under is now at almost 15 minutes over, so mark your programs accordingly.
Tony, you're
we've got the same message. Yes, indeed. Russell called it.
Absolutely. My 23-minute estimate is looking better and better.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
You did a poll on Twitter that I suggested, and you pulled out there, and we got some good answers. What can you share?
Gappers in the Twitter.
We did. We asked what would the possible next, or I'm sorry, what would
one more thing
be at tonight's show if there was one. And the number one response was that it was going to be something about the Model SX refresh. That was the number one submission back. Next submission back was it was going to be something different or nothing at all.
That's me.
And that's kind of playing it the safe one there. That one.
Ooh, that looks impressive, Evan.
But
You're number 2.
And then
I'm just curious, a poll of the panel here. How many of you think they are going to refresh?
Well, here's the thing. Before you vote on that, I was speaking to somebody who's in the auto industry, and they reminded me that these vehicle lifetimes usually are anywhere from 6 to 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Model S is approaching 7 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if they refresh it now, it would have to be minor, because if they do anything major, then they're going to have to somehow carry that expense into an all-new chassis. I think if they do anything, it'll be add door pockets to the Model S.
I mean, I don't think they're going to do a physically visibly noticeable refresh.
Yeah.
But they just had the Supercharger V3 announcement.
Oh yeah, they might add batteries.
And exactly, yeah. So that has now made the Model 3 that can supercharge. Oh no!
Stay tuned.
Just to stay tuned. Yeah, we just moved to another screen.
Casey, you keep jumping the gun on us.
I'm just letting you know it's flashing.
So what I'm hoping for is that was about a month ago they stopped using the battery sizes for the S and X, and they went to the standard range and extended range, or whatever they called them. I don't remember what their terms were exactly. Right. But similar to how they have long range and standard range and medium range with the 3. So if at the same time that they did that, they redid the cooling in the battery pack, maybe switched to the 2170s, maybe not. But either way, they designed the battery pack so that it could V3 supercharge at the full 250 kilowatt. And tonight they say, oh, and by the way, if you bought your car in the last month, you've already got this capability in there, and it'll be turned on in the next software release. That's what I'm hoping for.
They got to be careful though, right? Because they don't want to stop sales of the S and the X for people. Everything's got to be lined up and ready to go immediately.
Right, which is why I'm hoping what they say is, oh, and by the way, if you bought your car in the last month, you already have this capability. So and if you buy a car now, it'll come with V3 fully capable, and that way they don't Osborne themselves and say, oh, but just wait 2 more months, and because right now the 3 charges faster than their high-end cars, and that they can't keep it like that for long.
I don't see any problem with that at all.
As a guy who has a 3, you probably don't have any problem with that.
Right.
Since I'm driving an X, I do. And I think I paid a few more dollars than you did.
You might have, but maybe you just got in on the wrong point.
And I don't have any sour grapes over that. The car I bought is the one I paid for. Is the what I'm not complaining about mine, but I really think that it is a problem if you walk in today and you say, "Oh, I want this car," and they go, "Oh, yeah, but it doesn't charge as fast as our cheaper car." Yeah. That's a problem.
Here, do you want to buy 3 Model 3s?
I'm sorry, Patrick, walk in where?
They do still have stores, damn it, Russell.
When you walk into the service
this is why if Casey didn't come on the show, I would have just been like, I'm out. The Russell show, I'm none. No.
It's all about the phone now, baby. It's all about the phone.
You order on your phone.
Maybe that's the one last thing. Maybe Tesla is introducing a new smartphone.
I doubt it.
The Tesla phone, absolutely. That would be a shocking one.
Your phone key never disconnects.
Right.
See?
There you go.
And you can charge it at the supercharger in 0.1 nanosecond.
but don't do it longer because you'll blow the batteries.
In fact, you don't actually have to even plug it in. You just wave the plug around the back end of the car.
So for those of you who have just joined us, we're still waiting for the live stream. We are approaching 20 minutes over. Mark your scorecards appropriately, and we will join the live broadcast as soon as it starts. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna pretty much say the same thing. I was gonna say for new people who are joining us, welcome to the Tesla Life. We do a regular show every Wednesday evenings. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. click the bell for notifications, and then you'll be able to join the show live as we're recording it. While you're there, we got a couple of other shows, a couple other channels, I should say. One of them is What Drives Us. Check out youtube.com/What Drives Us. It's usually the same cast of characters.
We got a video.
Hey, we have video.
And then also Casey Green.
Here we go, kids.
Here comes Elon.
Now that is some exciting stock video. That's all I'm going to say.
Actually, it's one of the videos they've shown previously.
Yeah,
I like this one.
Oh, they've added some new shots to it.
Which one of those is Dreadnought?
Oh, this part I'm going to cry.
Oh, was the Y in that?
Yeah. No.
No, I didn't see it.
The soon-to-be canceled Tesla Solar.
It's like Tesla's greatest hits.
It's called a Sizzler reel, right?
Yeah. Angry Tesla employees.
That's because those guys were all just
They had to edit out all the ones that don't work very well.
Yeah.
All right.
Dudes didn't get laid off. You'd think they'd be smiling.
Right.
I don't know how long ago did they shoot this. They might have been.
Franz's pet car. This is where we. Yeah! Yeah!
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend.
This is a new intro.
21 minutes after the hour.
I said 23.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Russell wins.
Great outfit.
He just saw the
You
Starman
could have just
in the
waited one
audience.
more minute, you jerk.
Mhm.
It's not his suede jacket. Ooh, karate.
Oh my God.
He's going like Conan.
Yeah.
Put the phones down.
Well, everyone, welcome to the Tesla Design Studio, where we've held many parts of the buildings before. Hope you guys will have a really great time tonight. I think I've never seen so many cameras in my entire life. This is cameras everywhere. So we're going to start off by just talking a bit about how did we get here? You know, what are the things that have led to this day? What are the cars that, like? How did Tesla start out? How did we? You know, where were we 10, 11 years ago? What has happened over that intervening time? Because it occurred to me that a lot of people, they only heard about Tesla maybe a year or two ago, and you know, electric cars are kind of like taken for granted. But there was a time when electric cars seemed very stupid, and it wasn't that long ago. And the idea of creating a car company was stupid, of course, and then making an electric car company was like stupidity squared. And so let's take a look at the first car we ever made, the Tesla Roadster.
All right, who can tell me the code name?
Lotus? No, I don't know.
No.
Lotus.
Casey, you're the only one who has a chance.
I only know the two that came after it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was Dark Star.
It's a bit small.
Dark Star.
Oh, it was
okay.
Dark Star.
It's great. It's
Dark
great.
Star, White Star, and Blue Star.
So
Yep.
the crazy thing is, if you go back 11 years today, Tesla had made one car, that car.
Is that a prototype?
That's serial number one.
Oh, it's his personal car.
Tesla.
No, his personal one is on its in
car.
orbit.
No, that's his other one. This one's serial number one.
So on February 2008, we'd literally only made one car, that car. It didn't really work very well, I have to say. It broke down a lot.
See?
And it took us another 3 months just to make the second car. And now we've made about 550,000 cars. Yeah.
Okay.
And after the Roadster, well, essentially what happened with the Roadster is we said, okay, we want to make a car. We want to really break the mold about how do people think about electric cars. To think about electric cars being slow and ugly and poor performance. So we want to have a sports car, a car that is fast, looks good, sexy. That's right. Ha ha! You took the words out of my mouth. So exactly. Sexier. That's right. So the Roadster, the reason we did a sports car is we wanted to create a car that would break the mold for electric vehicles, and that would be sexy and fast and long range, and that's why we did the Roadster. People say that you won't be able to make a car with those specifications, and if you do, nobody will buy it. So we had to prove those two things wrong. And then after we made the Roadster, they said, okay, sure, you can make some toy sports car, but you can't make a sedan. You can't. There's no way you can compete with the luxury sedans that are gasoline, because they're the best. And there's no way you can make an electric car that's like that. So we did. Model S.
Who said that?
Oh, there were lots of people that said, "Oh, this is just for the."
That said you couldn't make a luxury electric car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that they wouldn't be able to ramp past just these hand-built.
And they wouldn't be able to compete.
And you wouldn't have a place to charge them.
Okay.
And nobody would buy them.
Is that number one of the Model S?
Not unless they redid the front end.
No, it's the headlights.
So we actually started designing that car in the Rocket Factory. So we didn't have a design studio. We took a little corner of the Rocket Factory, and Franz joined, and we just with a tiny crew in a corner of the Rocket Factory, we designed that car. I think that car was really important because it was competing against the best of the gasoline cars. So if you can make an electric car that can beat the best of the gasoline cars, it's a very powerful statement to prove that you can go electric. So then, working from the Model S, which, by the way, in terms of where the name comes from, actually, I like calling things what they are. So Roadster is called Roadster because it's a roadster.
He couldn't call it sedan or saloon.
There is no good word for sedan. So we couldn't call it the sedan. It wouldn't work. Or saloon. There's just literally no word. So the Model S stands for sedan.
Unless you're in the UK, and then it stands for saloon.
Yeah. This is how out of touch I was. I actually didn't realize at the time that Model S also means models. and then I had at one point a license plate that said Model S2 because it was the second production Model S. And it was and as I was walking away from my car, I said, "Oh, what a jerk! His license plate says Models 2." Yeah, okay. Could not have that license plate. So, but then going from the Model S, we said, okay, we want to make the best SUV in the world. We want to do something. It kind of carried away actually with the Model X. It's let's have practically every.
I like the people in the chat going, "Get on with it!"
I know.
And the Model X is as a car,
it's building excitement.
The egg meets a spaceship. It's it was insanely difficult, but it is an amazing vehicle. Let's bring it out.
Providing this solid background for everyone who's never heard of Tesla before.
Right. Which is
So
pretty much no one at this event
waiting
or
for-
watching this event.
He's waiting for the ice to get through the power electronics, just like last time.
If they just rolled the Y out and said, "Here it is, bye,"
It's over.
we would all be complaining about that too. So.
Yes.
No, I don't know.
They've lost their spark. They can't afford to do a presentation.
The Model X, like I said, it really feels like a Fabergé egg spaceship.
No, it doesn't.
And it's
my favorite one right now.
But then after we had the Model S and Model X, I thought it'd be pretty funny if we had the Model E.
Here comes this Ford kill sex.
But then like Ford threatened to sue us. Ford killed sex.
I could have told you that. Yeah.
What if we tell that to my '67 Mustang when I was in high school, asshole.
Well, it took the Taurus to do that.
Model 3. Let's bring up Model 3.
Now there's no room left on stage.
Yeah, where are they going to put it?
I can't wait till they roll out the semi.
They have to put them in the right order. I see.
For the 6.
Please bang into one of the other cars. Is that wrong for me to cheer?
Exactly.
All right, here comes the Y.
So that means
with a person.
The Y is going to be the Model E.
I don't. Presentation-wise, do you really?
We made the original Roadster.
I don't think you want all 4 cars on the stage at the same
X,
time.
Model 3.
Apparently, he does.
They had three threes on the stage.
Generation Roadster.
Right.
How do you get
He'll
to
summon
sexy
them
if you
all
don't?
off the stage.
That'd be cool.
So what's coming in? You Roadster. Exactly.
Or have the semi come barreling through and
Take them all out.
Like the Kool-Aid Man.
Come through Mad Max style.
Uh-oh.
Where does that fit?
Oh, that's
The new Roadster.
Fran's pet car.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sure.
Anybody see a semi?
There's a semi in the back.
Yeah, the
The semi in the wings.
They're really holding me out on that.
Your Roadster. Yeah.
When are they going to bring out the surfboard?
Oh, they don't have enough left.
And then the semi.
So
It's crazy they can drive a semi out there and it just coasts in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at this and I'm thinking that's a really relatively cramped space.
Actually, the Tesla semi drove here nonstop all the way from the Bay Area.
That's why they wrapped it in red.
Yep.
Why?
For the show.
So the Tesla semi, a 500-mile range electric semi. I learned to actually only after naming the thing that semi has two meanings.
Dirty guy.
Yeah.
It's semi-sexy.
Somebody get that man a teleprompter.
Wow.
Yeah, so really,
did he just say, so that's the semi?
So that's sort of talking about our products. But then the factories are as much the product, if not more, than the vehicles themselves. In fact, I really think like the difficulty and value of manufacturing is underappreciated. It's insanely difficult. It's like relatively easy to make a prototype and extremely difficult to mass manufacture that prototype or to mass manufacture a vehicle reliably and at scale. But even for rockets, I'd say it's probably a factor of 10 harder to design the manufacturing system for a rocket than to design the rocket. And for cars, I'd say it's maybe 100 times harder to design the manufacturing system than to design the vehicle itself. That's what the Fremont. I don't mean to have it in black and white. It's like it's not so long ago. They didn't even have color cameras back then.
Why are we here again tonight?
I've forgotten already. Yeah.
It was very bleak. It's like
He's trying to
Bring out a power wall now and some solar panels.
The Fremont factory, which used to be called NUMMI. People sort of thought, oh, you've got a car factory. Now, if you have a car, they sort of think if you have a car factory, you can just make any car. It's like, no, that's like saying you've got a box. That box can have anything you want in it. No, only if you make the thing in the box. So, although we did get...
Wow, he needs to fire his writers.
Right. Teleprompter.
Get better drugs.
Yeah, this is bad even for Elon.
All of the good equipment out. And anything that was like so useless, it wasn't even worth the scrap was left. So it literally looked like that, but in color. And it took an enormous amount of effort by a very talented team to actually turn essentially what looked like a derelict warehouse into a working car factory.
It's so weird because it was a working car factory before it was a derelict warehouse.
Well, they stripped it.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Yeah, it needed updating.
In fact, like today, the Fremont factory, which is an enormous building, I think it's like the second or third biggest building in the world.
No, don't go there, Elon.
It's so densely packed with people and robots. But this picture has like robots, but there's 20,000 people that work in the Fremont factory.
And he approved every one of them.
4 or 5 shifts. So it's really a massive amount of people and robots. So it's like those giant cybernetic
working in harmony.
I think the history was important when they did the Model 3 because that finished the master plan.
That was way
it should be a little more abbreviated for this one.
By far.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I think you're diluting the power of introducing something new.
This is literally like
in US last time,
Apple going through all the different iPhones before they introduced the new iPhone.
Oh, you've got to start with the Lisa and then go.
Right.
Mobile telephone. MP3 player. Digital internet device.
It's sort of like a movie series does not need to start with an origin story, okay?
Correct.
Design, it is absolutely all about building the production system. You want to have a good product to build, but that's basically the easy part. Then the factory is the hard part. Then the challenge is like, okay, if we create a car factory, where the heck are the batteries and electric motors and power electronics going to come from? And that's where we need to say, okay, we better build something that's capable of 50 gigawatt hours at least of cell output.
David in the chat says the Model Y is now on Tesla.com.
I believe like
is it?
Output.
Let's check that out.
Of lithium-ion batteries for all purposes. Phones,
Can you go buy one right now?
Cars
and come back, and he still wanted to introduce it.
That's oh my god, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Nope.
Yes, we need 50 gigawatt hours.
They'll be buying the Model Y during the presentation.
But is it there?
No, it's not.
It just says
there's no way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, but it's up on top, right? It's even on your screen, Russell.
We're going to build it in California, but like
that's been there for a while.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that.
So we built the Gigafactory in the amount of time it would.
If you click on the link, it says "Notify me," and then it says when Elon's done talking.
Okay, and now this is what it looks like now.
Woo, it's a big box.
Where are the solar panels? Oh, yeah. I shouldn't have said that.
And
there's some on there.
If only they'd had better salespeople.
When complete,
exactly.
Exactly. Brag about the Gigafactory, but not mention Gigafactory 2.
It's difficult to appreciate scale, but
that's during the second part of the presentation.
Really quite close. Like
David in the chat is hilarious. My 4-year-old to the bathroom and got back.
It takes 2 hours to walk around it. So, again, it's work of a tremendously talented team working like crazy, like tens of thousands of people to produce this factory. And today it produces more lithium ion than the rest of the world combined. So,
not true.
Now we're also building a factory in China, which I'm really excited about. As you can see, it's very impressive. Very impressive.
Bobcat Radio.
He's talking about the Starman in the front row.
When I was there in January, that's what it looked like when we did the groundbreaking ceremony, and this is what it looks like now, 3 months later.
It is the Bobcat.
So Gigafactory 1 to Gigafactory 3, nothing about 2. You're right.
End of the year.
Great. This is what it'll look like in a year.
So things are moving fast.
Oh,
especially with your Photoshop skills.
This will actually be, once it's complete, the equivalent of our Fremont car factory plus our Nevada battery Gigafactory.
JT says China might be done with the factory by the time you have the Model Y.
Nice one, JT.
That's great.
Great team in China, and this is going to be really important for making affordable versions of the Model 3 and Model Y for the Greater China market. And then we have some other things. So the solar roof and Powerwall.
He is going solar panel. Oh my god!
Don't do it.
I was joking.
This is definitely going to be the year of the solar roof.
No!
Everything we thought about
That was last year.
Like extreme challenges with the Model 3.
Definitely.
We have to
Last year, maybe.
allocate all resources to Model 3 production because otherwise we're going to die. And so
You're dying on stage.
it was pretty tight, I would say.
It's easy to throw rocks.
That was a hard one. I would say like 2018 was probably felt like aging 5 years in one. Honestly, it was really
I feel so bad for you. Come on.
Half hour feels like 5 years.
Thank you for supporting Tesla through this difficult period. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay.
Lee, that's great.
Now that Model 3 production is going pretty well,
the Model Z.
I'm pretty excited about both.
Oh, that's funny.
Thanks for Lee.
That was awesome, Lee.
Like part of the reason we couldn't make Powerwall is we couldn't make enough cells. So we had to either allocate cells to the car or to the Powerwall. I was like, well, we've got to make the cars. So then Powerwall got cell star, basically. But 2019, so we are now going to ramp it up. And then Power Pack.
God,
it is.
that is so bad.
So Power Pack
This means I might be getting a Powerwall this year.
Yeah, right.
We did the
Holding my breath.
the biggest battery storage system in the world in Australia. And yeah,
2 years ago.
that was really super cool.
I mean,
and
that
then-
was really super cool.
Roughly,
I mean,
a
I gotta say it.
in California.
Yeah, it was. But, I mean, Russell, he
2
started
years
with
ago.
stuff that happened 10 years ago, and now he's up to only 2
Right.
years ago. So
Power Pack.
we're getting there.
We expect this to ultimately be
Are we?
really
Are we really?
critical for transitioning.
What
to
evidence do you have of
sustainable energy. So we have sustainable energy production and sustainable energy consumption.
As long as he doesn't go back to when I was at
Energy
PayPal,
production
I
needs
had
solar
this.
panels,
That's it too.
Yeah.
and then those electric cars, electric vehicles in general. Yeah.
So I didn't see any seats.
But,
So
I mean,
how
the
long do you
really
think it's
exciting thing
been
is
since
if you have-
anyone in that
if
audience
solar
has sat
battery-
down?
Solar plus
Hours.
battery plus electric
Yeah.
vehicles, we have a fully sustainable future. This is a future you can feel really excited and optimistic about. I think it really matters. Yeah.
How is this going to look in 6 months when he shuts down residential energy?
I'll take the. That's not going to happen.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
you know, the
I think there's another beer.
2010,
It's
we
not
had
All right.
like
There's a beer
right
bet.
now.
so there was no, you couldn't really drive long distances with an electric car. In
Supercharger V3.
Oh my God, we're back to this.
So it was like, okay, we better have some high power chargers, otherwise it's going to be extremely inconvenient to drive long distances. Built into the Model S,
Nice one, Tony.
a high voltage DC bypass directly to the pack.
Oh, Supercharger V1.
Mainline power right into the pack, and then we stick it. Then nobody was building high power chargers. So like, okay, we better build these high power chargers because nobody's building them. And so we went from 0 superchargers to building a global network of superchargers. Yeah.
Like Nerd Show and Tell. He doesn't realize that the people who are here have already seen most of this.
Yeah.
It's pretty nutty. Each one of those is a supercharging site. So
People in the audience are getting hand cramps from holding their phones up.
He has found the only way to get people to stop
allow you to
filming
travel.
things.
Yeah, is to run them out of battery.
That's the plan. Wait until the batteries die and then bring it out.
almost anywhere in Europe,
Genius.
most places in China, not the Gobi Desert yet, but most places. We'll cover the Gobi Desert. We'll get there. And Saskatchewan.
Come to that. One driver to Gobi Desert.
I've specifically asked about the Saskatchewan supercharger.
Yay!
Uh-oh.
I'm told it is under construction.
There you go.
So Absolutely.
He's hearing from Canadians.
Yeah, you guys are all about Saskatchewan, huh?
And then you'll actually be able to drive across Canada.
They were probably the loudest, squeakiest wheel in
yes.
Canada.
Why?
I want one. I want one. Jeez.
We can use one here at Charleston.
We have some great supporters in Kazakhstan. I think we probably we should have. We will build superchargers in Kazakhstan. There you heard it right here.
Oh my gosh! Someone stop
we
it!
We built a lot more superchargers, and we have actually a version 3 of the supercharger that we just unveiled. And in fact, yeah.
All right, now we've caught up to last week. Don't go back.
We're 25 minutes in now.
Only at about 75.
I'm waiting for the SCC's bullshit rap.
With version 3,
he rolls out the robot snake charger.
Go a little higher than that. And so if you've got a long-range Model 3, it's capable of charging at about 1,000 miles an hour or 1,600 kilometers an hour. Yeah. So and we have one working in the Bay Area, and then the one here at the Design Studio is also working as of tonight. So yeah.
Does the public have access to those?
All right, so that's
some of them.
The version 3 supercharger throughout the world.
They just doubled their superchargers overnight, guys.
Right, that's amazing.
So we did slow down the supercharger rollout a little bit because we wanted them to be version 3 instead of version 2. But now that we have version 3 running,
It's hilarious.
We're going to spool up production, and so you have a radical improvement in supercharging wide.
Dave hasn't missed anything.
Yeah. So, in terms of where we are today, we got obviously the S3 and the X. We've made, I think, 550,000 vehicles, something like that.
It says 500,000 on the screen, Elon.
12 months from now, we will have made
like that. Don't get all SEC on it.
Exactly.
That's another SEC complaint.
It took him 6 minutes to bring out 6 different
While he's been talking, they shipped 50,000.
I mean, this is a testament to the incredible talent and
Now I know why the drivers got out of the cars, because they were suffocated by now.
With no air running, yeah.
Looking for non-dog mode, they'd be fine.
Oh my God, Dave! Just imagine if you had to look for this every time you started your car. So, thank you for reminding us. I'm
just ticked over like an hour, an hour ago.
To the road.
So the 4 million tank just ticked over. Yeah.
Oh, are we getting there?
So, just talking a bit about what were the thoughts back then? What were some of the comments?
What?
Let's see. The internet is forever.
Oh no!
What?
This is
stalling, waiting for the prototype to actually make it down the stairs.
Electric cars were considered extremely impossible and stupid.
They have the worst marketing department on the planet. Okay.
Well, I think 9% of them were let go last week. So.
Okay. And then now, things have changed.
And you need to act like it. You need to run your business like things have changed and not be reflecting on this past shit.
The goal of Tesla was literally this, is like, to what degree, in fact...
Mark Rogalski says sleep aid for the insomniacs.
Tesla should be measured by the degree to which we accelerate the advent of sustainable energy and transport. And our goal all along has been to try to get the rest of the car industry to go electric. We did a joint venture thing with Toyota and with Mercedes. We open sourced our patents 3 or 4 years ago, made them freely available, and so it's extremely rewarding to see that. So, and I was just wondering, like, where will Tesla be in 10 years?
Oh God.
the secret plan part.
About to reveal the Model Y.
That's all for next week, okay?
we will.
We're going to now go to the particle accelerator, which will show us the future.
I think we could. Okay. Tesla will be on Mars in 10 years. I think it will.
Oh God.
So after that extended history lesson, what about the actual reason you came? Okay.
Yeah. What about it?
This car. It starts with a Y, ends with a Y, and that's Y in the middle. Bring out the Model Y. Oh wait. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, wait.
Wow, that's how he introduces the product?
What an anticlimactic.
Oh my God. Hire me.
30 minutes in.
Extended history lesson.
And it's got like 20 square feet to park in.
Yeah.
And it's sharing the stage.
Stage right? Yeah.
And it's so dark, I can't even see it.
Hey, it looks just like a lumpy Model 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a more pronounced bill. I like the wheels.
Yeah.
Normal doors.
Headlights work.
Yeah. This time.
Oh, it's a clown car.
Yeah, it took 4 people to drive it in. Yeah, I know, right? Hockey Day is like, could get better lighting. Yes.
Yeah.
They haven't even revealed the car yet, from
It
what I
doesn't have
can
a Model
tell.
X windshield, but it does have much bigger than the Model 3.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have that one that goes back like the X.
Solid roof?
He's expecting it now.
It's the tires.
This is the
It's
first
looking
time-
at it going, it's the first one I've seen.
Yeah.
What do you know about that?
And it really should be next to the 3 because that's what you could compare.
No,
Right,
but it shouldn't be next to anything. It should be on a well-lit stage. By
Hey, let's listen,
itself.
guys.
Be
Listen, guys.
extremely safe. So that you may know the Model 3 has the lowest probability of injury of any car ever tested by the U.S. government. The Model Y, we expect, will have a similar result. 5 stars in every category. With the battery pack low in the floor, it's going to have a very low center of gravity. So this will it has the functionality of an SUV, but it will ride like a sports car. So this thing will be really tight in corners, and we expect it will be the safest mid-sized SUV in the world by far. And at Tesla, we actually always design with safety as the #1 goal. It's like people think, okay, performance, sure, but safety first. This is actually by far the most important thing. But it's also going to have incredible performance. So we expect to have a 3.5 seconds 0 to 60. Yeah, good. And very
limited edition performance model only.
Handling. It's testing out at a 0.23 drag coefficient, which is extremely good for an SUV. And in terms of range, 300 miles. Yeah. So we expect to have an EPA range of an actual true usable range of 300 miles. So yeah,
300.
yeah.
It's better than the long range version.
From an interior standpoint, it has a panoramic glass roof. And by the way, after I'm done here, you guys will be able to come up and like check out the car. So it's like
Everybody gets to take a piece home.
so it's gonna have a panoramic
Screen
glass
looks bigger.
roof. It really feels like just like the Model 3. If you're in the
Is there
car,
a third row? Yeah,
Yep.
see the sky.
there is.
G7.
3 rows.
There was a lot of debate about whether it did not. It would have a third row.
6 cubic feet. Obviously, autopilot and all that. As I've said publicly, we expect to be feature complete with self-driving sometime later this year. And then as we prove out the safety with billions of miles and kilometers, we will, from our standpoint, feel it's like safe enough to not pay attention, and then get the regulatory approval sometime thereafter.
Almost
The
identical
cool thing is,
dash to the 3.
like, it'll be able to do basically anything
Mm-hmm.
by the end of this year, just with software upgrades.
You can't hold it like this and not have it whine at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. It's just torque on the wheel.
Gas applause for autopilot.
The Model Y.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So yeah,
So how much?
the basically long range one we expect to be about $47,000.
There we go.
And then sometime in 2021, we'll have the sort of standard version, which will have a $39,000 price point.
Oh wow!
So,
You called it.
Yep, under 40.
60.
No, the 7 seats are optional. Yeah.
So it sounds like 5 or 7.
Yeah.
You mean the liftgate?
There probably won't be a 6-seat option. I mean, or a 4.
So it's not a hatch.
I mean, you never know. We might do better than this.
Wait, what?
Open the back. I want to see.
So I think it's going to be really compelling. I'm confident that it'll be the of any mid-size SUV, it'll be the one you want. I think it'll probably sell. I think we'll probably do more Model Ys than XM3 combined, most likely. Yeah.
Interesting.
Why?
So there you have the sexy presentation. So.
It's a section line.
It was exciting.
Thank you all for coming. Those of you who are here and those of you who are watching, thank you very much for your support over the years. It's been, a hell of a ride. I love you too. I love you too. We are bringing sexy back quite literally. All right, thank you.
Wow, that was weak.
That was the presentation.
Blame Orama.
He really needs to take lessons on.
Did he say anything about towing?
No, but he didn't for. Well, no, did he for the X?
Oh yeah, they had the little kid bring out the.
They had the bike rack on there and the ski rack. They made a big deal out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't for the beta though.
Wow.
Because the Model X had 2 1-hour
I'm
debuts.
turn down the volume on that. Oh, and it's done.
Oh, they shut it off.
Order now.
Late order now. Look at that.
Wow.
Click it.
I just updated. Oh, mine still says notify me.
Oh, okay. There's some video. I was like, oh. Hey, who's directing this?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Somebody needs
God,
to.
we waited half an hour for like 2 minutes of a very.
Better we sat through history.
That was unusual.
That was really weird.
I really would have executed that whole thing completely differently, and in my opinion, better.
It didn't really get into the details of the car. I mean,
Yeah, there was that one table. I wish I would have had a screen grab.
I got it. I grabbed it.
Did you? Okay, yeah. Let's pull that one up because that seemed to be the most detail of what the various options were, the range, the price. That's kind of
forecasted availability.
Not that one. Okay, so here it is.
It went to the Model 3 when I clicked on Order Model Y.
Okay.
Screenshot. So here we have the Model Y lineup. Yeah.
Good job, Tony.
Thank you.
Turn that off.
Put it on Tony for a presentation there.
Yeah.
Can you get the whole thing?
Look at that.
It dropped me on the Model 3 when I tried to order the Model Y.
Mine still says notify me on the Model Y page.
Yeah, mine does too. So we have.
Mine says order, but it won't load.
So we have 4 versions here. The long range is 300 miles. The shortest is standard at 230.
Yeah, that's like the Model X range was. 295 for the 100D and 289 for my P100D.
Check it out. The price. You guys were pretty spot on. We had the 39,000 here, and the long range is 47.
Oh, dual motor is separate.
Yep.
So there is a single motor, single motor option. Yep.
Yeah. And
Evan was right about that.
And check it out. Not a single 2019 delivery. So we have all 2020s.
Yep, and you lose
late
2020 range by going to dual motor.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of range to lose.
Yeah,
20 miles.
Even the 3 and the X don't work like that.
Yeah. And
with the X, you actually gain range.
Between the performance and the
I'm talking just from long range to dual motor.
Yeah, exactly.
That seems strange that it drops
so much.
And
it does drop into 3 as well, right? Like,
but not that much.
Different motors.
Part of it might be that they're increasing the 0 to 60 time.
I'm talking 10 miles.
You're getting more performance.
Yeah, you do get more performance though.
I can't help with that right now.
Nobody asked you.
Who's talking to their something.
Serious.
That
doesn't sound like an. Oh, I was going to say because that's not Google or Amazon's.
No,
thing.
somebody's trying to ask Siri to buy him a car, and
it's like geeked right now too.
The Amazon and the Google stayed quiet, but apparently the Microsoft device thought I was talking to it.
So, yeah, who was it? Was it Patrick or someone who said the standard range is going to be the last one out? You got to, get.
Right.
So Model Y is available for order now.
I still get bad gateway.
Yeah, it's the site's crashing left and right.
I can't handle the power.
Because it's only 2019. What do you expect?
I'm on the West Coast. It came here first.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Share your
so,
picture.
the 0 to 60. So why is it that the 0 to 60 would be so different between the different models?
It is on the Model X as well. You get 2.9 versus almost 6 seconds.
80% more money.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's software controlled. It's all governed, and you pay more, you get more.
Right.
Because they also add a motor.
Now, I'd like to see the performance go 280 miles at 150 miles an hour.
That would be cool.
Oh my gosh.
Cannonball run.
I don't know anybody who can do that ever driving, but
we should say that for everybody watching now that doesn't normally watch, you can please hit that subscribe button. And hit that little bell so that you're notified. We do a show once a week called The Tesla Life. Mark is the host. I'm just kind of talking over Mark right now. Well,
That's
Mark,
all right.
And I will say, your show is much more entertaining than Elon's presentation.
Oh my gosh.
Every show is that. Yes.
Yes, I didn't mean it in a bad way, but
no,
yes.
of course
but
not.
the bar was low.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, we have a sister show called What Drives Us. Please look that up on YouTube and subscribe to that. And finally, Casey Green has a show that we would like you to subscribe to as well. So 3 shows to click on. Click on the bell and give us a like, and that will help us out. We would really appreciate it.
Pretty much the same cast of characters across the spectrum.
It loaded up the Model Y order page on my screen. Share.
Yeah, share the as soon as
Are you ordering? No, still nothing.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Share it up. Share. No, not you.
Put me up.
Yeah,
In your shopping cart. Let's see what
it's pretty.
Arrow wheels.
Yeah, arrow wheels.
It really doesn't look that much different than the 3.
No, it doesn't.
Were you really expecting it to look different?
There we go.
I was expecting a little more of that, that lumpy kind of beetle shape that all the crossovers are, that really rounded look.
You get a carbon fiber spoiler and the bigger wheels. That's all I see.
Yeah, I want to see the back. Is it a lift gate?
Is there any other pictures?
Let's go to the next part of this process. Oh, I can pick a color. Let's pick white. Silver? There's no silver.
It looks good white. That's a good looking white. Yeah.
Especially with the performance. Red looks like the X.
Right. Yeah, and those are the same paint colors.
Third row seat looked like it folded flat for cargo.
Okay, so it's got the similar roof.
All right.
Windshield.
Yeah, and center console. Everything looks really close.
The screen seems to be sitting a little lower.
None of that's surprising because we knew that they shared a lot of the same parts.
You can't get 70 to 80% part sharing if it looks different.
I don't know that the camera's still above the mirror, unless it's better hidden this time.
Well, that's
the 5 seats.
Tough to see.
$3,000 for 7 seats. And
$3,000.
Okay, so
that back row, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
There it is in white.
That's like an Italian leather couch.
Right. That white, I got the white interior on my Prius Prime, and I absolutely love it. Now I'm just a massive white interior fan.
I've got it on my X, and it's awesome with perforated leather.
I wonder how much cargo space you lose with that rear seat.
Okay, so Hockey Day has a good point. He just threw in the chat. He says it's not an SUV. So where do we draw the line between like a CUV or an SUV or just a Model 3 that's a little bigger?
It's definitely a CUV because it's on the smaller side.
Right. And then Musk called it a mid-size SUV.
He did.
Yeah. So I don't know what the technical definitions of these terms are, if there even are any.
Don't they call
whatever they want to market it as?
Don't they call the Model X a mid-size CUV?
How can the Model X be mid-size?
It's not mid-size anything. That thing's huge.
How much is the deposit?
Is it 2,500?
2,500 today.
Annie says 2,500
How much?
today.
2,500?
Right there at the bottom. Yep.
Does it say refundable?
Let's see. By clicking place order, I agree to the Model Y pre-order agreement, Supercharger fair use policy, customer privacy, and consent to be contacted at the number provided.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
Dave Pitch is entertaining me in the chat room with his Baby Shark references. So
Yeah.
that's funny.
Nice.
That's not a terrible band.
Way to go, Dave. That was beautiful.
But there's no shots of there's no spin around shot or anything.
There's no shot of the rear of this thing. And the camera didn't go there during the event either.
No.
Isn't that weird?
But look at where they
But they only have one.
Look at the line though. Look at the line
Look where
on
the hip
it.
is on that vehicle.
Right, but after the reveal, we shouldn't have to be going. Look at that line and that seat. What that tell you? No, they should just show us the damn thing. Come on,
But if the glass goes all the way here, this might really be a trunk and not a hatch.
It should have been on the stage by itself,
spinning,
and there should have been
opening and closing, like when they brought out all the cargo out of the X. That was kind of cool. Why didn't they do that here?
And you know what? Actual lighting.
They had enough people in the car. Someone could have brought out some cargo.
Brandon points out that the white says recommended on the interior.
I'm not seeing anything.
It does say the white is recommended. Good find, Brandon.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, the denominator says go back to the main page. You can see it there. The seats fold almost flat. Where would that be?
Oh, the Tesla main page?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Scroll down. When you just click on Model Y and then start scrolling down, and there's a pull away shot. Wow, this site is really all over the place right now, which is not a big surprise.
Oh, there we go. All right,
There
so
you go.
then
You got that. So scroll down.
Scroll down some more, or click it. Just as
Nope,
order.
Scroll down.
There's no more scrolling.
Yeah, mine's
there
not.
is.
Mine doesn't.
Yeah,
Mine's
there
not.
is.
It's
Scroll
the
down.
bottom of my page. Look, see, just scroll.
Okay, here. Let me share.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Did they give us different versions of the page?
I don't know.
Yeah, they
Okay,
did.
so
Oh
there's
my
the
God!
main-
Where's that?
there's that. Okay, there's the. So you get
Yeah,
like
mine
a
looks like
structural
Russell's.
shot.
Oh my God! My
And
page.
here,
Oh,
hold on.
Holy crap!
Ooh, look at that
There's
second and
your-
third row folded
Oh,
down.
got a pass
that is
through.
a hatchback.
That's nice.
Hatchback. That is
Hatchback.
every bit a hatchback.
short
Yeah.
hatchback.
That's actually very cool.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Good
Now-
statement there.
So why do we
No.
have 3 different versions of the page?
I
don't know. Okay. Okay.
Tesla.
Leave it right here, Russell. And
Yeah, because there's more information down
yeah,
below.
hold on. I want to bring something up here. If you look at that second row and you look where the pivot is on where it comes up, it's behind the door opening. So
Yeah.
how do
I gotta
you
crawl?
get to the third row? I mean, you
Does
would
it
literally
tumble?
Through the hatch.
through the
Yeah,
hatch.
like Batman and Robin.
You would have to literally climb over the folded second row seat. To
It's
get
probably
into
on
the
track.
third-
It probably goes forward to
Yeah.
get access.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
access on a track,
right.
but I wonder if it
Oh,
might also
right.
tumble.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Not
You're right.
folded down, you slide it forward.
Let's be realistic. In this small car with a third row, you don't put anybody you love back there.
Little children with short
Or
legs.
maybe your
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Maybe kids and pets, which is odd because we generally love our kids and our pets. But
Yeah.
Usually.
So very much like the RAV4 and the CRV then.
Right, but they're spry and nimble and they can jump over stuff. You don't put
Yeah.
grandma back there. She,
No.
No.
Grandma,
Never get grandma back out again.
Exactly.
Can I scroll
But
down now?
anybody bigger than a kid would
Yeah.
get their head
Oh.
scratched by the
Hey.
hat.
I like it in orange.
Found a shot of the back,
Right.
The very Model
As an
3-ish.
option.
and that's red, I think.
That's supposed to be red, yeah.
It might just be the
Reddish.
they had red eye reduction on and it took over.
Red-ish.
I
Whoa!
was driving.
Whoa! Full motion video. Ah,
Wow.
that's not bad. The back end is good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it really doesn't look bad at all, does it?
It really
That's
looks
talking about
very Model
Being able
3.
to turn, yeah.
I mean,
So
Mhm.
is the hatch motorized? Do you have
Probably
to-
not.
that's
Probably
a good
not.
question.
I doubt it.
Only in the performance version.
Right? Where you want to get rid of
Well, then
weight.
I'm upgrading. 'cause-
But a lot of other mid-sized SUVs have power hatches.
Full self-driving, I'm sure, right? Because that's where
Yeah.
that's going.
That was an option.
There's another interior shot. Looks identical to the Model 3.
A lot. Yeah, it really does.
Except for
It
the
really
mirror.
does
The mirror
to
looks
me.
different. The mirror
parts,
mount.
yeah.
and there's a sort of moody front silhouette.
I guess that's where we get the specs. That's where the specs come in on the other page.
Yeah, if you stop on that page, it fills out on the right for me.
Oh, so there's 4 different versions of the page.
Finally, I got the updated.
Specs. I think they're just inconsistently loading.
Yeah,
because I can't even get to that.
Here's the Model Y ordering FAQ.
I finally got that.
Is it refundable payment options? Can I cancel? Coming days, you'll be easily request cancellation of your Model Y order. Doesn't say they'll give you your money back, but you can cancel.
Right.
It looks like there's a bigger front.
Hotel California, you can check out, but you can never leave.
Eric Stevens points out that the 7-seat option is $3,000.
Yeah.
Ow! That's all
I
I
sure
got.
wish they'd put that side by side with a 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Well,
brought
guys,
several of them out, and so we could see them in all the various colors that are available and the various tire options.
Besides what we have
in the order page,
what we said about the presentation, is everyone impressed, or are they middle of the road, or are you saying it's lacking?
I think middle of the road. I think it's about what we expected.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Model 3 that's been boosted up to small SUV size, and it meets all those boxes. There's no big surprises. There's no Falcon Wing doors. We knew that wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
A little surprised maybe that it's got the third row, but not super surprised. But and nobody's going to buy it for $3,000 because it's going to be almost non-functional. And
there'll be a few people that need 6 seats, 7 seats, but
you throw a kid back there for a trip to the soccer field or whatever.
So, and I'm getting from the chat room that not everyone is getting the order page. So I'm thinking if we just keep talking, but keep sharing Russell's display, if he just keeps going through, then,
There you go.
So and you see where it says production is expected to begin late next year? So that means like the following year after that.
Adjust.
Oh wow! It remembered
MST,
my configuration.
Yeah.
So if we didn't already have the Model X, I would consider this.
I think this is a cute little crossover SUV, and I would CUV. I would seriously consider this. I think I like it.
I don't think it's as crossover-y as I thought it would be. It really just kind of looks like a tubby Model 3.
It kind of does. But you know what? It's a lot better than those stupid Buick CUV things.
Yeah. Since I was, but I mean, like, compare that to what the Honda CRV, the Toyota CHR. It's a significantly different form factor.
Yes,
and bigger.
This is definitely more
car-like. No, not bigger, but just different shape.
Yeah,
totally different shape. This is
the Model 3 has a bigger footprint than those cars, so this would have more than that.
Does it mention ground clearance anywhere? Because
it looks low, huh?
It looks low, but I assumed it would be a few inches higher than the 3.
Oh, here's some details: 12-way power adjustable front and rear heated seats, 3 independently folding second row seats. So that middle row is the ski pass through.
It sounded like you could heat the seats 12 ways.
Premium audio with 14 speakers, 1 subwoofer, 2 amps, and an immersive sound, 2 amps. Satellite view maps with live traffic visual.
Is the wheelbase much more than the regular Model 3? Does it say?
It didn't say.
I bet it's the same. So
in-car internet streaming and music.
One of the things he showed said 66 cubic feet of capacity.
There you go. Oh, there's a picture of the hatch open on the icon.
Right.
Oh yeah, a little.
Yeah.
That's all we
fog lamp.
That shows
location aware garage opener.
They
tinted glass roof
on that one, and then they stop. Keep going. 5 more feet, and then
tinted glass roof with ultraviolet and infrared protection. Auto dimming, power folding, heated side mirrors. Music and media over Bluetooth. So this one also doesn't have a radio, even though it's the premium trim.
Yeah.
Custom driver profiles. Center console with storage for USB ports.
So when you say it doesn't have a radio, you mean no AM or FM receiver? Is that what you mean?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
It says premium audio and immersive sound, but then it says phone audio.
No satellite.
Well, you get satellite, or you get internet based FM.
Right. Well, on the base Model 3, they called it out special like this too.
Right.
Music and media over Bluetooth. They didn't say.
But you're correct,
you had
Tony.
Internet radio.
There's no AM.
Okay, but satellite radio doesn't always carry my sports. You know,
well, WGN, it's time to change.
No, WGN radio carries every Cubs game.
Wait, here we go.
A lot of the Hawks games. And
so is that
when I'm on the road,
station, Tony?
In-car internet streaming and music and media. Okay, so that's an add-on to the base model.
You just have to stream your radio station from your phone through the car.
Right, but the thing is that sometimes they don't carry the games. It's wacky. I know. I have apps for this, and if you're not listening to like AM through the radio, you're not getting sports.
The rest of the Tesla lineup has TuneIn, and it does tend to do a decent job with sports. From what I've been able to tell.
Okay, all right. I don't have experience with that. But
I'm not a sports person, but I don't
have AM in my X, but a lot of the AM stations are in the HD, like the second channels for some of the FM channels carry the AM stations. So you can have FM and still get a lot of the AM stations, or as we just said, TuneIn has them, or apps. So there's lots of different, iHeartRadio and other things that.
Yeah.
Right. The performance adds quicker 0 to 60, top speed of 150, 20-inch performance wheels, carbon fiber spoiler, lowered suspension, so you get less ground clearance, aluminum alloy pedal, track mode.
Lower clearance might work in Nevada, but
So you're definitely not getting air ride.
Right. So, no air suspension. That's too bad.
Here's something that no one's mentioned so far. On all the Model Y variants, standard, long range, all-wheel drive and performance, there's a little heading that says supercharging, pay per use.
Oh yeah,
that's
right.
That's kind of expected, is it?
Yeah,
not?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, they're not giving free supercharging.
Not anymore. Yeah,
in fact,
that's the old days.
Yeah, that is a old grandfathered thing in. From now on, going forward, everyone's paying for supercharging.
Everybody's paying. I'm not a complaint. I just think it's.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, Tesla spent a lot of money building out the supercharging network, and it's time they start driving some revenue off of it.
Yeah, I kind of think they should give everybody 3 or 6 months free, just so they can go out and explore and learn how to use
radio. You get 3 months free when you buy a car.
Yeah.
Well, or even if you just said we're going to give you X number of credits, you can use them whenever you want.
First 10 are free.
Right.
Yeah, and that was originally talked about.
They did that on the Model S.
Elon had said something about so many kilowatt hours that would get you basically one trip a year, and it was you couldn't save it; you could only use it, and after the year went by, it was reset.
Yep, they have that on the Model S and Model X before supercharging for free went away. If you didn't get a referral code.
Yeah, it was like 400 kilowatt hours, I think.
Something like that. Sounds about right.
So 14 speakers on the premium. Is that the same? Or on the sport performance? Let's go without doing
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
How's do we have any questions from the chat?
No, we have
no mid-cabin crossbeam. Good point, Hockey Day.
No Sirius or XM on the 3 either. So the same with that.
So only the Model X right now, right? Because the S you needed the panoramic roof, and that's gone. Or did they move that?
Is that an option with the X at all?
Yeah, it's standard on the X if you get premium audio.
Is that the same steering wheel from the 3?
It's the same shape if it's not the same one.
Yeah, it sure looks like it to me.
In this picture, it looks like it has the same little wheels and balls.
The balls. We're going to the Model S. Order now.
The sun visor looks bigger.
Yeah, the windshield's bigger.
Is the windshield? I guess it would be slightly bigger, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Just a little taller.
Yeah, and then the mirror mount is different than the Model 3 as well.
Yeah, it seems to stick down farther.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm trying to load the Model S page now to see if it's different. And their page is swamped. It keeps reloading.
18 or 19-inch wheels, same 20-inch on the performance version. Yep.
And if you're joining us for the first time, we're just going through the website here, clicking on the different options. Please, if you haven't already, press the subscribe and the bell button and give us a like. That would be fantastic. We do a weekly show every Wednesday. Also, you can join us at What Drives Us. And now we're going to be sending some post office stuff out.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I got lost there for a second.
You can join us on What Drives Us. Please subscribe and click the bell and the like it there. And finally, Casey Green's site. Search Casey Green for YouTube. And please subscribe to Casey's channel as well with a like and click on the bell. We would appreciate that. Really help us out.
So the XM radio is now available on the Model S with the all-glass roof. So I guess when they killed the Pano roof, they found another place to put the antenna.
Yeah, well, originally I had a solid roof, and they put the antenna in one of the rear view mirrors, the outside rear view mirrors.
Yeah, eventually they said you have to have the Pano to get it, though.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Probably during their my camera's off during the when they were doing the packaging where you couldn't do the a la carte anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they felt like the quality was not as good there as well. It's kind of crammed in a weird spot, but it worked okay for me.
Yeah. Well, the XM quality is not as good as the internet radio.
Yeah, I'd much rather just use my phone. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and then I can just even preload them when I'm at home on Wi-Fi, and then I have them when I'm on the road without even. I don't need connectivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I put it in the chat right now. Yeah, I let my XM subscription lapse, and if I could, I would remove the icon from my screen.
Here.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's
here's a picture of the. Well, we've seen video of the back. I was gonna say here's a picture from the show on the back.
Do you got something to share, Casey?
Let me do a share.
All right, we'll just pop over to see your screen.
There we go.
Yeah.
So those are completely
vandalized it.
Those look like the Chinese rims.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I noticed that the Mexican Model 3 also had the Chinese rims.
Okay, so they're no longer the Chinese rims, everybody.
Uh-huh.
They're everywhere except for the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah.
All right. But does have the same ice handles.
Yeah.
So, it's great that this car is going to be available in fall.
Did you call them ice handles?
Ice handles. So you'll get they're available. So this
You mean hockey handles?
No, this car will ship in the fall, so you'll get a couple of good months before they freeze up, and you won't be able to open them.
I have heard them called the hockey stick handles, which is something you use on ice. But no, we're not calling anything about this ice.
No, but you get the ice reference, right? Because
they're doing the chunky crossover SUV plasticky thing like they do on the X and everybody else's SUVs. See how it's not body colored on the wheel arches?
Oh, yeah.
And the running boards?
Sorry, what was it?
On the running boards and the wheel arches, they've got that chunky black plastic that they like to do.
Yeah, the extra thickness of plastic around.
I see. Right.
And it's a different color, so it has that sort of almost, I want to say Subaru-ish, but
they all do it though. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does it now.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and who's that from?
That is somebody at the show. Owners Club.
Okay.
So Trevor. Yeah.
Trevor from the Model 3 Owners Club. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, okay. Trevor. Hey.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor's a good guy. I'm just going to offer this up. So it's just sort of like my mental wrap up for the evening. Number one, what in the name of Satan was Elon on? Okay, I'm not just being mean or picking on him. Dude was all over the place. He had no focus, and again, he doesn't. There's a certain authenticity to CEOs or business executives that aren't like Disney presenters. So I'm not looking for that level of polish. That said, I mean, there are teleprompters. There were two right in front of him on the floor, and I'm willing to bet there were two oversized ones in the back of the hall. Dude, I mean, but anyway, that's almost irrelevant. That's trivial. The car looks cool. The questions about this, like any other of the Tesla releases, remain the same. When is it going to ship? And we know that they're going to roll out the 70K or 60K version first. And so when will you be able to buy one that isn't 60K if that's not what you want? Otherwise, I mean, it looks cool. I'm almost surprised it's not more different than the Model 3. And I know I said at the beginning of the show, they share a lot of parts. And I made that observation. It's not that I'm forgetting that. I'm just I'm surprised they didn't try to differentiate them more visually. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see them side by side, so you can kind of tell the difference. But you would not be remiss if you were to see that from across the way and just think it's a Model 3. Like it's that similar from the photos and stock video we've been seeing.
Yeah.
So Russell, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I would have had a more well lit stage because it's a product reveal. You want people to be able to see the product. I would have, brought out like he did. He brought out the Roadster, and that was pretty cool.
I would have had like 4 power. Click. These are the old cars. Here's the new car.
I know, but that was the thing. I mean, he brought out 6 different vehicles in the first 6 minutes, and then stood there and yammered for 25 minutes.
And he didn't really talk about why the Model Y is important. Why it's an important addition to the lineup. And he says it's going to be a big seller, but why? Why does he think that? What makes the Model Y unique to all the other vehicles that Tesla's released up to now?
Right. He could have gone through the Tesla history and used the cars sort of like the PowerPoint presentation. So while he's at the front of the stage talking about the first car they ever manufactured by hand in February of whatever year that was, the Roadster could have rolled up behind him and just sat there. And then he said, and then we rolled out the Model S because people said we couldn't compete with these big, and the S would have rolled out there. And then he would have said, we moved on to the Model X, and the S rolled off, and then here comes the Y, here comes the X, and it would sit there. I mean, that would have been a great presentation. And then when he's done, he could have said, and here's why we're here today. And to Evan's point, this is why this is important. We have the Model Y. The 3 would have left. The Y would have been on the stage by itself, maybe on a turntable.
Maybe with some lighting.
With some great lighting. It would have been phenomenal.
He's just so hung up on the whole sexy gag. That's why he did it this way. More funny, and it was a bomb.
Yeah, and it's almost like this car is not important to him. Like, we're doing this one because that's what the market research says is where we'll sell a bunch.
Interesting.
I want the Roadster. I wanted the S. I was so excited about the 3, but this one we kind of have to do.
Somebody else did this for me. Yeah. But at the same time, he did say he sees it outselling the Model 3 worldwide. Right on the stage, he said that.
Yeah, and I agree. That's what the market data says. If you just look at CUVs versus sedans, I totally agree. It seems more like that's kind of like why they did it.
Yeah.
Did you see one of the comments in the chat? PJ says the Y is so fugly they parked it under low light.
I have a general theory that explains some of this, and I'll just offer it up, and it's completely pulled out of my butt, so it's meaningless. But I genuinely think that Elon is just bored with manufacturing. I think he likes thinking of ideas, and he likes being a disruptor and an innovator, but I think the bullshit of car manufacturing is wearing on Elon. And
interesting.
I kind of see it with the Model 1, like it's another car, but it's not his baby. Like you guys have all said, he talks about the Roadster and the S and the X, and oh my god,
and how hard it was to do the 3, but we made it.
And the Semi, what the hell ever, and we got this Model Y thing now, and it's cool. You need one of those.
The Semi event, he was into it, but like you said today, he was like, whatever, it's a truck.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. And he said it could do 500 miles, but that unit is only capable of 300 miles. It's the short range. It's not the long range semi.
Right. Please, you're not going to hold Elon to numbers. Stop it.
Thank you, the SEC. God.
Yeah, damn nanny state. You just get up there and barf up whatever he wants.
Well, let's do a rating. Everyone give the car on a scale of 10 what they thought. I'll start. I think that the Model Y would rate a solid 7.5 for me out of 10.
There you go.
Casey, what do you think?
I was thinking 7 while you were saying 7.5.
Okay.
Like I said, if we didn't already have the Model X and we were still coming from the Volt, I would probably put a reservation on the Model Y. But,
very good. Paul Guzek, what do you think?
I was thinking about a 7.
A 7? Okay. We're all pretty even. The wild card, Mr. Frost, what do you think?
Wild card. I'm going to give it a 5.5 on the Richter scale.
Wow.
I will admit
5.5.
I will admit that the presentation itself has skewed this opinion. I may learn something later on, and I'm open to that really makes this car shine, but it seems like cold oatmeal. Not bad.
Yeah.
Like it's 5 seconds in the cheap version, 0 to 60 cold oatmeal. That's not bad.
Yeah.
But wow, just like here. It's like when somebody hands you food and goes, I think this is spoiled. Will you eat it? What the hell kind of gift is that? That's insane.
I think that would be lower than a 5.5. This is spoiled. Will you eat it?
I'm trying but I don't think the vehicle itself is bad. I don't know yet.
You thought the presentation was that?
I thought the presentation didn't get me excited. You know,
the presentation was like a 1.5.
Yeah, we're just talking about the car itself.
I know
what we know.
And everything I know comes from that presentation.
This is true.
Okay.
Oh my God, that is so true. Yes.
Mr. Fusco, what do you think?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's hard for me to give a number. Like I'm
Come
in
on,
a range.
do it.
I don't know. I don't know enough about this thing. I'm kind
Well,
of
what's
in
your
that
gut reaction?
My 5 to it'd be a range of like 5 to 8, depending on what the initial stuff comes out. But I agree. It is like cold oatmeal. It's a Model 3 that's been pumped up a little bit, and that's I love the Model 3. So if the Model 3 is a 10, I guess that one's a 10 too. But you know, as far as my excitement level about it, it's like in the dumps. I'm not excited about it because Elon wasn't excited about it. Yeah. He didn't give me any reason to be excited about it. It doesn't offer me anything new and different and exciting. And so if that's the scale, it's really low.
Yeah, he didn't give us any of that pizzazz. Just transfer that energy to us.
There's no reason to love it. So, like I said, it's whatever I would rate the Model 3, I would give this the same rating because I think it's essentially the same car.
Tony, what do you think?
Well, I think it's funny that John in the chat room said he gives it a 2 pi. Although depending on where you are, Pi Day is over by now.
That's a tau.
Thanks, Elon. Yeah. So,
was that a math joke just now? I'm sorry. I'm a smart major. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
That was greater than pi.
Oh, okay. Cake. I think cake is greater than pie.
Come on, Tony. You got to give us a number.
Yeah. You know what? I actually kind of like it. I like the 3, and I kind of like the hatchback of the Y. And, it's me and my wife, so we have no kids, so I don't have to worry about that it's seat 7. I don't have to worry about this. I mean, we each have a car, and usually it's just one of us in each car 5 days a week, maybe 2 of us in one car over the weekends. So
you'd save $3,000.
That's right. You don't need a 3rd row seat.
Right. See, so I don't need that. It would be folded. I would be able to put things in the back because it's a hatchback. I love hatchbacks. Now that I've had my my Priuses for 15 years now, I'm spoiled on hatchbacks. I would be inclined to give it more of an 8, 8.5.
Nice.
I don't know what a 10 looks like. I mean, I guess a 10 would be I would run out and buy it right now. But I do want more information. We all do. Yes, I agree that the presentation was lacking, which is why none of us can say this is a really great car because Elon did nothing to convince us that this is a really great car. I think we've all been to car shows where they do unveilings, and those are like, they're right there, they're live, and they have very limited space, and they have very limited stuff on what they can do, And this was worse than one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Y reveal was an afterthought in tonight's presentation.
It was.
I kind of felt like it. Yes.
Yeah.
Patrick, what do you think?
So if this, there's still a lot I don't know, and a lot I'm going to have to find out, and I'm going to test drive one before I make any decisions. But I was really hoping that this would fix some of the problems that I have with the 3. So right now I drive an X and my wife drives a 3, and then occasionally I'll drive her a car or whatever. And how can I say this? I'm old and I worked out and God, my legs were hurting, and I had to get into her car and I'm like, this thing is so low, it hurts my legs because they were sore and because I don't work out enough. And anyway, I love the higher ride of the X. It is so much easier to get in and out of. And so I was hoping this would be a little bit taller, and then it looks like it's not. I was hoping this would have a tow package because, as I said earlier, if we get one of these, it would replace the X. So I'm looking for the things that I enjoy about the X, replacing the things about the 3 that I don't like. And so I wanted to be able to put the bike rack on the back, ski rack on the back. I want to have a higher ride. And other than that, I don't need 6 seats that I have in the X. We have, I have one child, not 3. So, I don't need a 3rd row, but it's an option. So that's kind of cool. So it doesn't fix the issues that I had with the 3 as much as I had hoped. So I don't know, but the real decision is going to be my wife's, because if we buy this, it's going to be hers and I'll get her 3. So even though I just went through the reasons, I would rather.
I'm not going to let you off until you give us a number.
All right. Well, okay. All right. So from what I know now, I'll say 7. If it turns out it does have a tow package, or there is air suspension, or you can get a higher, or it does have a higher ride, then I'd go to an 8 or a 9.
Very good. Very good.
So I've got a question for you all. So they're rumored to be coming out with the tow package for the Model 3, probably, a 1,500 capacity. What do we think that this one could tow? If the Model 3 gets towing, then there's no way this would not. So
agreed.
What do we think this one could tow, given the Model X is 5,000?
It should be exactly the same as whatever the 3 is, right? Because it's the same drivetrain.
Maybe a little difference for body weight difference, but yeah. If there is one, I don't know.
Well, the Semi with 2 motors can do 80 tons with Model 3 motors.
Yeah, but
obviously it's going to be different gearing.
It'll be a little less than that.
And with the Semi, they have a whole lot more battery to pull from, right? So I mean, there's more than just the motors to consider.
The motors, its weight, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I think it's time to wrap it up tonight. We've been going for quite some time. I do want to give everyone a chance to plug their site.
We should do a call for show titles too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
There's a ton of show titles.
I'm sorry.
No. From the cliffs of where the hell's the car?
Reveal on the Cliffs of Sanity. There it is. Show title from David Watts.
Yeah.
Reveal on the Cliffs of Insanity.
For searchability, I would leave Model 3 unveiling in the title somewhere.
Yeah.
Model Y,
you know what I mean. But hyphen it, whatever we pick for the show title.
Right.
Very good. Paul, start us off with the sign-offs.
I'm Paul Guzek. I own Boulder Hybrids in Boulder, Colorado. We are a hybrid and EV repair shop and used car dealer. And we are now starting to work on Teslas because they are giving us their technical information.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Very good. Mr. Fusco, moving right along.
I got nothing to plug, but it's way past my damn bedtime.
That's why you're next.
Big day at Disney tomorrow.
Big day at Disney tomorrow.
Very good. Very good. Casey Green.
CaseyGreen.com. YouTube.com/CaseyGreen.
KACEY Green.
That's me. Thank you.
Very good. Please sign up, subscribe, ring the bell, and press the like.
Yes.
Yep.
Patrick.
Hello, I am with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org. And I occasionally blog at carswithcords.net.
Very good. Russell.
Definitely go to carswithcords.net and argue with Patrick about his articles. One of my
Russell does.
Absolutely. You can find me on this show once in a while and on this other show called What Drives Us at whatdrives.us. We're YouTube/What Drives Us. Please go there. Please subscribe because that supports the show. And maybe watch and enjoy the show too. I don't know. Maybe not. Thank you.
On your way out, hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah. Tony.
Ding, ding.
Yeah, just what Russell said. We do another show, and it's called What Drives Us. The Tesla Life focuses on Tesla, and What Drives Us. Wow. What Drives Us focuses on the entire alternative fuel vehicle movement and getting petrochemicals out of the transportation sector. And then a lot of other stuff that goes with greening the grid. It turns out that Russell is a huge street philia. I don't know what that word would be, but the civil engineering about the layouts of streets and how engineered and transportation, and that brings a, in my opinion, completely cool aspect to the show. So yes, just so check out What Drives Us. I've noticed a lot of people have recently subscribed to the Tesla Life. The numbers have gone up throughout the show. Head on over to What Drives Us and give us a like as well. I think you will like that show as much as you like this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to thank all the panelists for joining us tonight in this this long-winded affair, and we appreciate you all being here. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button for the Tesla Life and give us a like and ring the bell, and that would really help us out. You can follow us also on Twitter throughout the week at The Tesla Life, and you can follow us on Facebook, The Tesla Life #1. And with that, we're going to roll some music and say goodnight. So thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Hi, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye. And thanks to Lee Moon for the theme music.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lee. And for the title suggestions. Good night, everybody.